Houston is one of our great cities in the U.S. and a prominent city for upwardly mobile black folks. But Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston is facing a quiet crisis, rising rates of HIV and STIs, especially in communities of color.
And now the very services meant to protect vulnerable residents are being scaled back as federal funding really hangs in limbo. HIV, a virus we know how to prevent, is up 17%, and syphilis cases in Harris County are up 125% since 2016.
And in the midst of that crisis, the helmet hair wearers are going full hooligan over some bundles and weaves, also in the city of Houston. I guarantee you, if they were handing out free condoms, not a third of these women would show up. Not a third, and I can guarantee you also, nearly to a woman, they're all sexually active, and most of them very promiscuously so. But they will come out here and beg and scrape and shuffle for some bundles and weave. And if it was about their health or anything substantial or positive, you would not see this kind of turnout, and certainly not this kind of bowing and panting and begging for what they let it have been handing out free college degrees for the most educated group on the planet, lie, and see if these same women would turn up for that, for a free opportunity to work for a college education or to work for a C plus certification. You wouldn't even see them show up, much less be running over each other and causing a major situation over the weekend in Houston, where the police had to come and shut the situation down. But we see what the modern culture and our community values. HIV, the AIDS, the monster that can't be cured, 17% increase. That's substantial. But syphilis, people are okay walking around with the itch, passing it along to each other. And we have penicillin resistant strains because it's so much of it, and people don't even finish their course of treatment when they do get it, that now it's becoming resistant. And the behavior in the dating market out there is not anything to be desired. But this is what people in our culture value. They value going out and acting wild, having no sexual discipline, and then acting a fool to get some weaves and bundles. Let's hear more about what's happening with this crisis.
Hotspots include Montrose, downtown Houston, Kashmir Gardens, and OST South Union. And now some community clinics say they've had to pause their free testing just as infections are rising. KPRC2's Ricky Munoz has more.
Earlier this year, we reported on HIV cases rising, especially in areas like Montrose, a community where free testing has been a lifeline. Now, some of these programs are being put on pause, causing many people to put their health on hold. Texas is bracing for $119 million in federal cuts, including $25.5 million for HIV prevention, treatment, and emergency preparedness.
So there's y'all boy Trump at work, along with Robert Kennedy Jr., to make sure that we have disease spread throughout the community, cutting all the funding that helps to abate and curb all of these things. All that federal money is coming back to the Department of Health and Human Services, retracting all that money. And so there's not going to be any services towards that. But what you do have But instead of valuing their health with the highest rise in rates being among black women specifically, because women more easily contract these diseases because of the exposed vaginal tissue and the other exposed tissues where there's insertion, with the mouth or other places, right? The membrane is what absorbs and contracts those diseases more easily. So women catch them more easily. Plus, we know most of these women sleep with the same small set of men, so they just all pass it around in a circle. But instead of being concerned with their health, they're concerned with fake hair to make hair helmets out of. Because this celebrity hairstylist what is his name? Jonathan Wright did this out of control promotion, and he knew that he could just exploit black women for every dollar possible, and of course they all ran out there and showed where their value was, to beg and scrape for real Asian hair to put on their black heads.
Friends, stop playing. Tomorrow, the grand opening. The ribbon cutting is at 8 a.m. Come on, follow me. Y'all already see all the wigs, but stay tuned. Y'all see all these gifts? We got 400 bundles we giving away. It ain't ending. When I say 400 bundles.
This is what our women value, and then wonder why the men of the community don't value them. This is the behavior that we get for acting like peasants starving for bread, and the king comes with a few morsels to give out to the good obedient peasants, and they bow and scrape so they can get some bundles and weave. Absolutely pathetic. And this is what you want black men to step up for. Big backs with lashes. They can show up for this, but they can't show up across town at a grocery store to make sure they get some fruits and vegetables, some fresh fruits and vegetables, talking about a food desert, but they didn't have any problem making it across town to this one Houston store. And Houston is a big city, not just a big city in population number. If you've been to Houston, the landscape of Houston is very spread out. It's one of the most expansive, big spread out cities in America. But they all found a way to get there first thing in the morning for some weaves and bundles. And they can't get to work on time to earn income to feed their family and take care of themselves. They can't get to a grocery store with fresh fruits and vegetables. It's somebody else's fault that even though the grocery store up and left because they were always steady stealing from it and acting like they had every right, and how dare you question them about their theft.
Hey, police, go with them. You're not resisting them because you're detained for shoplifting. Go over there.
I just paid for it. Come get my kids. They're doing crazy to me, man. They're doing crazy to me right now. Y'all give me a hug because they don't like black people. Give me a hug.
No, you should be embarrassed because you're acting like a parent.
Stop.
I don't have nothing to do with it.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have your receipt?
I just came out. I'm not with her.
Okay, do you have your receipt?
Don't even have the decency to put stolen merchandise in shopping bags. Just gonna walk straight out the store with everything just sitting out in the bag. Talking about I ain't got nothing to do with it. She got open merchandise just sitting out, nothing's bagged. Just crazy work. Absolutely crazy work.
I don't even know.
Let me have your receipt.
Okay, give me a second. I'll give it to you. If I only like what the
Ma'am,
hell?
stop.
I'm gonna give it to you, sir.
Stop and give me the receipt
Okay,
right here.
can you chill out? I'm gonna give it to you. Due to my storage.
She takes off running. But this is the value of the women we're charged to step up and love with their big backs. And they value weave and lashes and all this garbage. But they don't value condoms, sexual discipline, sexual morality, not getting diseases, not being nasty, and letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry raw dog them and put babies up in them and risk their lives getting all this syphilis and HIV, but won't go to a grocery store and pay for stuff, but will steal from every store they can, and then say it's racism because people take their store out of their community. But they can get across town to this dude, this Jonathan Wright's store opening for some weave bundles and lashes, but they can't get across town to get fresh food and vegetables for their kids. So they're all online crying about how they can't pay the rent and how they don't have enough money for necessities as prices are rising, and how black men need to step up and provide for their children and take care of these women and backstop them and keep them off the street, and how they they don't have money for the things that they need, and they can't buy healthy food for the children because buying healthy is so expensive. So that's why they all have diabetes and are overweight. They can't afford to buy healthy food to feed their kids. properly so that they don't become the next big backs. But let's see what they do have money for. Now, this piece of the story picks up. She was one of those people out there begging for biscuits. And then when it all broke down, the police told them to go away. The sheriff told them this is shut down. It's over with. This is what happens next.
But he was like, they can't have an event, but they can open up as a beauty supply store. Like, they just have to let people come in and, like, you know, do their own thing. So I think that's why we're all kind of waiting here, because one, the sheriff told me that. And then two, after that, we went around to the back. So now we're in the back of the store, because that's where the people who was inside the store was coming out from. So now we in the back waiting. Jonathan came to the back and was like, oh, who's about to spend money? Because it's like a small group, like maybe 15 people. And he's like, who's about to spend money? I'm holding up my money. Everybody holding up
Again, Jonathan Wright, that sassy dude who is the celebrity hairstylist who's the owner of this store and who put on this whole debacle.
This girl reached in her bag, she pulled out like 10 racks, and it's like we all trying to spend money. We not here for the free stuff no more. We understand the free stuff is probably gone. We don't care.
So they got racks for bundles, weaves, and lashes, but they can't get across town to a store with fresh fruits and vegetables so their kids don't become obese and have chronic disease and die at 35 and be the next lonely big backs to follow in their footsteps. But they got money, they got racks for weave, bundles, and lashes. This is their value, because this is what they value. And you wonder why we're checked out. Tell men to step up and go marry these black women and show up for black women. Show up for what? For this absolute foolishness? Absolute foolishness. Where is the dignity from these swirling, begging hyenas? Show me the dignity. Show me what somebody should step up and want to be with and want to care for. We brought you this story over a year ago at Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews about the lie about black men not protecting black women, where this Asian store beat up this black woman and threw her out of the store when she wasn't even stealing. And then they did a promotion, and all these black women came up and lined up to come and support this Asian store after the black men showed up and did a demonstration in the store. To try to rectify the situation. Black men were out there protesting, and black women were standing in line to give these folks their money after they totally disrespected and beat up a black woman, presumably, apparently based on race. And the black women didn't care. They're like, forget that, we don't care. You got weave, bundles, and sandals, we there. Where's the dignity? Step up for what? Stop it. Houston, you got a big problem with your culture, and it's deadly, and now it's getting out of hand in other ways, and then you're showing your backside. Where's the dignity? This is not a snap at Houston, because great city, but the foolishness is at an all-time high, and that's why brothers are grabbing their passports. It is ridiculous. I'm your Bachi 2007 with the Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews. Don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell, and we're out of here. Houston, you got a problem. Let's do something about this crazy.